it. And so if you hold the dealer to the letter of the law on the Costco buying program, it is a great deal for you, and it is a bad deal for the dealer. And yes, the simple answer to the question, yes, we do sell Costco members for less than our one low price.
Okay, we got a text from Robbie. It says, good morning. I have recently received emails from a BMW and Mercedes dealer saying, great news. We want to buy your car, and we are now paying the amount Kelley Blue Book offers. So look up your car, and you will know what we are willing to offer. Even if you don't buy another car, is this just another way to get you in the dealership? And that's from Robbie and Stewart.
Scam. It's a way to get you in the dealership. They don't really want your car. They might want your car, but that's not the reason they sent the letter out. They sent the letter out to everybody, right. And they want you to come in because you could believe you get a great deal on the car, and then they try to sell you another car. Or if they have to buy your car, they'll try to, we say in the trade, steal it, yep. Buy it for less than it's really worth. It's a scam.
It's a numbers game. They'll send out 100,000 emails. 12% of the people will open them. Half of them will read it. Half of those will actually call, and half of those will show up, and they'll sell 20 cars.
Yeah, all solicitations like email, direct mail are a numbers game. And it makes me think of Nigeria because there's a lot of Nigerians that have my email address. And
you're very popular.
And I've had 150 uncles that have died and left me all their money. And I'm supposed to send them $20,000 or wire $20,000 in good faith. And then they'll give me my $20 million that my uncle in Nigeria when he died.
Well, I heard that they stream our show in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah. And the thing is that if they send out 1 million of those, I'm one of the 1 million, and there's some poor slob that believes his uncle died in Nigeria, and that's how they make their money.
If half of 1%.
Exactly. Car dealers make their money the same way. As Stu said, they'll send out 10,000, and if they get a 2% return, what's that, 200?
Yeah.
And if they have a closing ratio of 1 out of 4, then that's 50 cars they'll sell, yep. Because of the scam, because 50 people are suckers and fell for it, and that's the name of the game.
It's a long way of telling you, Robbie, delete the email and add them to your spam list.
Exactly.
I love getting the phone calls. I find it so exciting to have a conversation.
Nancy taunts the callers for hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, this is on your anonymous feedback. Earl, if you'd like to have a guest on the show to bring meaningful content, then I'd like to nominate Steve Leto. That's Steve, Lehto. He has radio experience, is a consumer advocate, makes lots of consumer-oriented videos, and is a lawyer who you'll appreciate. He's easy to find on the web and has many avenues to get in touch with him. He's a great guy and would make an excellent guest and participant on your show. As an alternate, you should have old school dealer educator Steve Richards on the show. He'd show you the bad and ugly side of and general distaste for the car buying experience. Signed, not Steve Leto. Just kidding.
Well, let's contact those people. I think they're out of state. I've heard the name before. This particular advocate of Steve Leto, I think, has called us before, and there's no reason why. I'd like to have somebody in the studio, but a call-in guest would be good.
Yeah, we can do that.
And let's check it out. We should have, and this applies not just to attorneys, consumer advocate attorneys, but also to legislators. And I'd love to have the Attorney General of the state of Florida, or the governor, or a senator, or a representative, or even some local authorities. We'd like to have some government and attorneys, advocates, anybody. I mean, that is advocates for buying cars without being ripped off. Love to have you call in, and we could give you 15 minutes on the show once we screen you, and we'll screen these 2 recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that should be our New Year's resolution for 2020.
Sure. I agree.
You got anything, Nancy?
Not yet.
Okay, I got more text. I know. Wait, let's go over to Rick.
Yeah, Rick.
I got a couple here from YouTube. Ernesto is asking, what is the yearly average for miles that people drive anymore? It always used to be 12,000 miles. Is that still the same?
It's 12 or 15. I always say 15,000 miles. So, a lot of leases you see are allocate only 10,000 miles. That's the reason we alert people to be careful.
The ones we're familiar with Toyota, they consider 12,000 miles a low mileage lease and 15,000 standard miles.
Yeah.
And Ashley James is asking, how does Lexus award dealers? Can Earl get a Lexus award?
Boy, I tell you what, I'm going to get myself in trouble again. Unfortunately, a Lexus dealership, the old expression would be is like a license to steal. That's not a very good analogy. But Lexus dealerships are almost priceless, and there are very few of them. There's only how many Lexus dealers do? 300, 500?
I don't know, there's like 13 or 1,400 Toyota dealers, and like,
maybe 300.
Yeah, less than a third of that.
And so a Lexus dealer is extremely profitable. They typically make, probably $1 million a month or close to it. And they're awarded with a lot of politics. I'm just telling you like it is. I got a lot of Toyota executives out there that clutched their chest, slumped over on their desk when I said that. But politics is everywhere. It's in commerce. It's in government, obviously. And to get a Lexus dealership, you have to have a lot of pull, a lot of friends,
and power.
And Toyota has to owe you something. It's and that's not to say they won't pick a good dealer. They want to have good Lexus dealers, but just being a good dealer for the consumer is not going to get you a Lexus dealership. And they're free, by the way. When you get a new Lexus dealership, there is no car dealers called Blue Sky. I know I'm getting too technical here, but if Toyota awards me a Lexus dealership, all it costs me is what it costs to buy the land and build the building and buy the equipment. If I were to buy that same Lexus dealership that existed, I would probably have to pay an additional $100 million on top of the cost of the land, building, and equipment. So an open point for a Lexus dealership is like a gift from Toyota for about $100 million.
Wow.
And
Merry Christmas.
And they just don't come unless you have friends.
Exactly.
That's the way it goes.
In
Or
high
if they're not
places.
mad at you.
Yeah, well, if they're mad
They
at
can't be forget about it.
That's
the answer to your question.
If you
They're
say
mad at
things,
Earl.
if you say things like this on the air, and everybody knows it, they ain't www.ain'tgonnahappen.com,
Yeah.
meaning Earl ain't going to get.
Yeah, we had moved
Lexus
up to like
dealership.
number 10 on the list. They just knocked us back down to 100. Thanks. Thanks, Dad.
Anyway,
All right.
well, they're not mad at you; they're mad at me.
Thanks,
I
Ray.
think you just proved the theory that the texter was trying to point out earlier. He was, I believe, alluding to fear. And you can hear right now, ladies and gentlemen, there's no fear in that man.
Yeah.
Unless I'm coming after him. Give us a call toll free at 877-960-9960, or you can text us 772-497-6530. Don't forget, ladies, 2 new lady callers, $50. Stu?
Yes, Sister Nancy. Anonymous feedback. Hello, love the show. I currently have a 09 Kia Optima. I want to buy a Toyota Highlander soon. I'm going to buy it in cash so I don't have a car payment. Reason is, a while back I went through the experience of being laid off and having a car payment. Are the latest safety features worth me saving up for a new 2020 Highlander, or am I better off buying a 2018 or 2019? Thank you. We've been talking about all the new safety features that come out on the cars these days, but I can tell you that on the 2018 and 2019 Highlander, they got pretty much everything you can get. I mean, there might be some additional things on the 2020, but if you get a 2018, the backup camera, all the airbags, the lane departure assist, the rear car, all that stuff is available on most of those models. So I think you could save some money and get a used one.
Yeah, and I've got in the Florida Weekly, current Florida Weekly, the blog I wrote is entitled "Get the Lowest Price on Any New Toyota from Any Toyota Dealer." He's talking about a used Toyota, I believe, a used Highlander or a new one.
New or used, the question was, yeah.
But this is in the current issue of Florida Weekly, and this is to empower those anywhere in the United States that wants to buy a Toyota, because we, as far as I know, until I heard this feedback from the Houston person that there was somebody else quoting out-the-door prices. As far as I know, we were the only one. So you can, if you want to buy a Toyota and you live in Paducah, Kentucky, you can go to the blog, earloncars.com, and it says, get the lowest price on any new Toyota from any Toyota dealer, and you can get an out-the-door price from the Toyota of your choice. take it to your local Toyota dealer and say, this Toyota dealer will sell me the car out the door, meaning I can write them a check for this amount of money, and there won't be anything, even tax and tags included, added. If you can do the same for me or beat it, I'll buy the car from you. So all you folks out there, was it 15% of the people buy Toyotas?
Yeah.
So 15% of the United States will buy Toyotas. See what the lowest price is that I'll sell you one for.
Well, if you're outside the Southeast region, they're going to beat our price.
Yeah, and I say that in the blog. I'm glad you brought that up. You need to add about $1,000 outside of the Southeast United States, meaning Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama. And if you're in the rest of the USA, there is a lower price because Southeast Toyota Distributors adds about $1,000 to the cost of the cars that the other dealers don't have in other parts of the United States. So help the Toyota dealers out, help the buyers from other Toyota dealers out, just get the lowest price and have them match it.
You know, you think in Florida with the how high the hidden dealer fees are, and the Southeast Toyota add-on fee,
Still beats
it's got to be it's got to be the highest priced Toyota in the country.
Yeah.
I'd guess. I don't know. We have a question. This is a Rick question. What's going on with Toyota door locks? I had one fail, and then I went online, and they're going bad everywhere, and they're super expensive.
Well, Toyota's going to probably put an Arcoside order out on me, but
Arcoside.
they're crap. Toyota door lock actuators, the power door locks.
Are we allowed to say that word on the air?
Well, the FBI hasn't broke the door in yet, so I think we might be good. They're failing all over the place, and we're constantly replacing door lock actuators on just about every model that Toyota makes with power door locks.
Is there a technical bullet on that, Rick?
There's not really even a TSB on them. They're just, and I keep sending in dealer product reports every time we get one.
You do.
And we have a ton of customers that we are doing Goodwill repairs, replacing those door lock actuators, even when they're out of warranty. And this is what some of the technical experts, when we call the TechLine Assist program, they tell us, oh, well, customers are using those air fresheners that have the liquid in them, and those have a little bit of silicone in it, or they're using silicone spray on the rubber around the window, and that silicone is getting in and killing the door lock actuators.
Yeah.
And my answer is, boy, that sounds like a whole lot of what I used to shovel when I lived on my uncle's ranch.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know
Okay.
about this. I learned, I didn't even know in my own dealership that we had a chronic problem with door locks.
Yeah.
Is this on all models or on all years?
Just about any car with power door locks, we've been replacing actuators. As a
And,
matter of fact, my own truck, I just had to buy one just the other day. I had to order one up. I've got to install it on one of my back doors on my pickup. And these things are not cheap. Retail price, close to $400 each.
Why couldn't we get you a Goodwill on your truck?
Well, I just haven't asked for it yet.
Because
I might
Toyota's
talk
mad
to
at
the
him because he
manager,
keeps saying things like this.
Yeah,
Well,
but
heads
Is it for
heads-
Rick? No.
there should be a recall on these things to replace them, but they
Well,
need to
We'll
figure out what's
definitely,
going on and
we'll
fix them.
definitely pursue that. And to all you folks out there who have a door lock problem, love to hear from you. And the thing you need to remember is that Toyota knows it's a problem because they're offering Goodwill. Goodwill is like extending the warranty when you know you got a product problem and you don't want to recall it. They will extend Goodwill because it soothes their guilty conscience because they know they're wrong about it. So folks out there with Toyota door lock problems, heads up, take it to the dealer and tell them that you want it fixed under Goodwill. And if it doesn't happen, you should raise some hell and call Toyota, say, I know you got a door lock problem and you should fix it and not charge me.
Right.
Very good.
Or face Arcoside.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is from Bobo. Quick question. Shouldn't paint blending be covered under manufacturer's warranty? I have an FF door paint, which is a front fender, folks. Well, actually, just a front fender. I have a front fender door repaint, manufacturer defect, and the shop told me I need to blend the nearby undamaged paint, front right door, and it costs like 60% of the damaged paint. However, the dealer told me that the blend is not covered under warranty because it's undamaged paint. Is he right?
I'd say he's wrong. I would fight it to the death.
Yeah.
And I think you just need to probably try another dealer. Call Toyota. Is it a Toyota or?
It doesn't say.
Yeah, whatever make it is. I would try another dealer. The manufacturer's warranty is supposed to make you whole
Right.
with respect to the repair. So certainly, if you had defective paint on the fender and they don't blend it properly into the rest of the body, they haven't made you whole. You can't. They devalued your car, and
I suspect that
makes
there
no
could be
sense.
something known as warranty fraud going on, where the dealer is getting the full reimbursement for the repair, and they're saving on the paint materials and labor
Bingo.
by only doing the one panel.
You could be right, but yeah, that's a boy. I love that question. I hope everybody out there understood it. And I hope the sender will go to the dealer and get it taken care of the way it should be.
Yep. This is from PV. If you purchased a vehicle at off-lease only and the window sticker on the vehicle identified it as a previous accident vehicle, along with off-lease only com's website also identifying the vehicle as a previous accident vehicle, then you purchased a vehicle that was involved in a severe accident, and your vehicle sustained structural damage to the frame that may be dangerous. Have it checked out by a professional. Now you understand why its value was so cheap. It had been severely wrecked. This is all in caps, by the way, when off-lease only sold it to you, and they knew it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like the CarMax, the off-lease only secret to success. They figured this out a long time ago, and I give them credit because structural damage is not what everybody thinks it is, and with unibodies and frames no longer being integral parts of the car, that unibody damage is not a safety issue.
Yeah.
And so there's a legacy believing it is, and because people believe it is. And when you do damage your car and you do damage the unibody, it severely affects the resale value. Well, off-lease buys the car at a severely reduced rate because they go through the auction at lower prices. But they also pass the cost along to you. They're one price. They put their lowest price on the car, and you buy it, and what you save is what they saved when they bought it at auction.
Yeah, and the texter pointed out it was disclosed on the window sticker on their website very conspicuously. A lot of dealers, when we see this in the mystery shops, do not disclose it conspicuously. Off-lease only, you know what you're getting.
Still want to take it to your mechanic because there can be safety issues with a wrecked car, and you want someone to check it out. I had a caller yesterday, and he was shopping CarMax and off-lease. I said, they're two good places. I said, you can get a good buy at either place. I said, off-lease is really protect yourself in the clinches and be careful because they buy cars on the cheap, and they sell them on the cheap, and there's no guarantees or warranties to speak of. There's some little bitty thing in the first 5 days or something, but and don't finance it at off-lease only. But you can still get a great buy at off-lease. It's a good place to buy a car if you're careful.
Mm-hmm. Sister Nancy?
Nuncy.
Nancy.
877-960-9960. I like that. That's got a ring to it.
Sister Nancy.
Yes. Text number 772-497-6530. I got a text from Leslie, and she's inquiring about car seats, and she wants to know where the best place would be to go to get information and find out the number one rated. Well, without a doubt, Leslie, I have to steer you towards Consumer Report. They have a whole lot to say about these car seats that are out there. And
Why don't somebody Google Consumer Reports and look up car seats? I mean,
according to my information, over 5 million, can you believe it? Over 5 million car seats, and most of those will incline into sleepers, have been recalled. That was last spring, I believe. And also, unfortunately, there has been some deaths. I believe that there may have been 70. So go to your Consumer Report, and you can find all kind of great information and recommendations. Hope I answered your question.
number one Consumer Report recommended car child seat is the Chico, Chicco.
Hey.
Number 2 is the Chico, Chicco. Number 3, number 4, number 5. No, number 5 is a GB. But
Get yourself a Chico.
get yourself a Chico, Chicco. Tested price $180. Buy it on Amazon
Yeah.
and probably save a few
Great.
bucks.
I
Right.
took baby Jake home in a Chico
Chico.
18 years ago.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, 17
how
years
nice!
ago.
What a great memory.
And you see how long
would
that took,
think-
mate? No time at all.
Yeah.
Consumer Reports, don't buy anything. A
Yes.
coffee pot, a car seat,
Yeah.
a car.
That's the best
anything.
way to
yeah.
go, Leslie. I agree with Earl's information you just gave you. And you'd probably think to yourself that Fisher Price, because it's such a popular car seat, but they were major,
Garbage.
major players in this recall. It's a very serious situation. Over 5 million were recalled. Thanks for your text, Leslie.
Yeah, and by the way, just general advice, you can save yourself 2 hours a week. You don't have to listen to the show. Yeah, any car questions, just Google it. Because that's what we're doing
Google
up
it.
here. No, we have some retained knowledge over the years. I'm just teasing.
But we do have some fun here, don't we?
Oh, but this is partially
You don't wanna miss the
entertainment.
And
entertainment.
This is
you can
infotainment.
Google Earl Stewart.
Yeah, exactly. Everything we ever said is on
Yeah, everything I know is on Google.
Exactly. So, but this is infotainment, folks. This is
Yeah.
That's
it's a
not
whole show.
true.
That's why we call it a show. Steve from New
Rick?
Jersey, who is a long-time listener and a texter, also references Consumer Reports. He says, "Hi, Earl, Steve from New Jersey. You are a keen supporter of Consumer Reports. If at all possible, it would be great if you could get Keith Berry on your show. He wrote the October 23rd article about the high risk of injury and death of female occupants in cars."
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Keith Berry.
Keith Berry,
Berry?
yeah.
Very good. Well, we'll certainly try.
that
Wouldn't
bi-
that be some?
Is that Barry?
Barry, yeah. Or Y, yeah.
Rick?
One quick note, folks. When you do get a car seat, stop by your local fire station. The firefighters are actually all trained on the installation and proper installation of those car seats to make sure they're anchored properly in the car.
Yeah.
Because that's actually a very important factor. No matter how good the car seat is, if it's not mounted properly in the car,
Yeah.
in an accident, that can become a flying projectile.
I'll
And
tell
the
you-
fire department will help you put that in.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
great
they
advice,
will.
Rick. These car seats and sleepers, they are so complicated. I mean, they were complicated when Jake was born.
Yeah.
I remember Earl and I struggling to get this child into.
That's right. I
with
just threw that on you.
Transparency.
Exactly.
Struggling. Earl's smiling a bit. I'm pretty sure he remembers.
Yeah.
But this stroller that we were trying to put Jake in,
Yeah, good luck folding that thing up. They're easier now. When my son was born, they just came out, or just before, something called the latch system. So it used to use the seat belts to secure the seat, and then all the manufacturers started putting these like anchors in there, and there's these little anchor things that tie in. It's easier, but some cars it is hard to do. So
Yeah.
I agree with Rick. You
Yeah.
know, get somebody who knows
Fire
what they're doing
station.
to show you how to do it. Yeah.
And
Okay.
the firefighters love it.
Yeah,
I got something really good.
877-960-9960, or you can text us at 772-497-6530. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, your anonymous feedback. We want to hear from you. And we're still waiting for the ladies to give us a call. 2 new lady callers. Now back to Stu.
I got a really good one. You're going to get really excited about this one. It's from a dealer.
Oh boy.
Or maybe it's a salesperson, but it's from a dealership.
Yeah.
I sell Mazdas. In fact, I sell a lot of them at a Mazda dealer in Florida. Earl Stewart claims not to have dealer fees, when in reality, all they do is hide the money elsewhere. We pride ourselves in being full disclosure. We also pride ourselves. Car dealers pride themselves in a lot. We pride ourselves in. I don't even know if that's
Yeah.
that's not even a verb. Okay. We also pride ourselves in having a lot of class, which is probably why we're close to becoming the #1 Mazda dealership in all of Florida.
Wow.
Best part is, I've never had to bash another dealer, brand, or salesperson to build value in my product, or to convince people that I'm the salesperson they should purchase from. Sounds like you guys are the desperate ones bashing another brand and dealer. I've always been taught that if someone speaks poorly about someone else, it says a lot more about the one speaking than it does about the one being spoken about. Maybe check out some videos on class, integrity, dignity, or head back to Car Sales 101. We don't want to do that. You might have some better luck with your sales. Sorry that your customers would rather buy a Mazda. Before you jump in on that, I just have to point out that Mazda has about 1% market share.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to take a little swipe.
Well, Mazda
Thank you.
is, yeah, Mazda is in my heart forever because I was the first Mazda dealer in the eastern United States. I got a franchise from Mazda in August of 1970, and I actually flew to Jacksonville to meet with the chairman of the board of the Mazda. They're based in Hiroshima. I believe it's Hiroshima, and I was awarded the Mazda franchise. And I had that for many, many years. So, I love Mazda when they have the rotary engine. So I digress. The fact of the matter is, to this salesperson or manager or whatever of the soon-to-be the largest Mazda dealer, congratulations. I'm glad you're doing that. And I understand your position. And I appreciate the call. At least you had the courage. Of course, it was on anonymous feedback, but I can understand that too.
No, it wasn't anonymous.
Oh, it wasn't
It was
anonymous.
a text, yeah.
A text, okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to text him back, and I'm going to invite him to visit our dealership. I might even try to hire him because we do have an honest, upfront, out-the-door price on our cars. We do not have a dealer fee, hidden or otherwise, no hidden fees whatsoever. And I believe this young man may actually have, or young woman, may actually have the sincere interest of the consumer at heart. So heads up, I'm going to give you a call personally, and we'll have a conversation. And I want you to prove to yourself that we are who we say we are. And if you'd like to work for a truly honest dealer, we'd love to talk to you, interview you. So thanks again for having the courage to send us a text. I appreciate it. Next,
Earl?
Dealey, Lake Park is holding.
Yes.
Hi, Dealey.
Good morning, Dealey.
Good morning, everyone. I want to say that I really enjoy your show every Saturday. It's so informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
And my question is, I purchased a Toyota back in the 70s. Since then, brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I've had two Subarus, brand new,
Mm-hmm.
and then a Ford, brand new. So it's time for me to buy a new car.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to buy a car from your dealership.
Oh.
However, the car I want is not a Toyota. It's a Subaru.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to buy a new
what-
Subaru.
2019 or 2020, correct.
Yeah, we can sell you a used Subaru. Unfortunately, only a Subaru dealer can sell you a new Subaru. But what we can do for you is if you want a new Subaru, you can contact your Subaru dealer that you'd like to buy from, and we can coach you. I'd be happy to help you to be sure you get a fair price. And as I say, if we had a used Subaru that fits your needs, we'd be tickled to death to sell to you. You can go to our website and look and see what we have online. And if we have any Subarus, Stu's probably looking at it right now.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was shopping. I'm
He was playing. He was playing poker
Yeah, I'm not.
online.
I'm not
organizing.
opposed to getting
Yeah.
a Toyota, except I really don't care for the Rav4s
Mhm.
or the SUVs that are made. It's just like a personal preference.
Oh, I understand.
I'm just leaning towards like a Subaru Crosstrek because there's kind of like a smaller SUV and
Sure.
kind of a little sporty.
Sure. Well,
So-
you should buy the car. First of all, Subaru's a great car. I mean, if there's Subaru is absolutely a success story. They really have come on strong. Safety, reliability, maintenance. Check Consumer Reports. You probably already have. It's just a great vehicle, and I love their advertising. By the way,
the dogs.
so you couldn't go you couldn't go wrong with a Subaru, and
We got one, by the way.
get one.
We have one.
We have one used Subaru in our used car inventory, and we're glad to sell you that one, but that's not a very good selection. I suggest that you shop around and buy one from your local Subaru dealer, but check with us. You can text me or Stu or Nancy, and we would coach you through the purchase process and tell you what a good price is. At the Subaru dealer, be sure you get a fair, no hidden fee, no dealer-installed accessories type price, and that's what you want. That's what you should buy.
Okay, I thank you. And like every week, I've been learning more and more as to who to trust, who not to trust, or what to look for. And now I'm really sold on your dealership, except I need
Well,
to find
thank
the
you.
car.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Dealey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dealey.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Okay,
Year.
Give
bye.
us a call again after you make your purchase. Would be interested in speaking to you. And Happy New Year to you. 877-960-9960, or you can text us at 772-497-6530. Remember that shopping report's coming up, and we want you to be part of the grading process. Now back to Stu.
We have an anonymous feedback response. It says, if Earl was offered a dealership from GM, either GMC, Chevy, etc., would he accept it? Also, if any manufacturer offered him a dealership outside of South Florida, i.e. Gainesville, Jacksonville, Pensacola, would he accept it?
I would definitely like to buy another dealership. I would. It would depend on the dealership. Oh, you mean an Open Point? An Open Point, I would probably most say unequivocally, I would probably take. An Open Point, as I explained earlier, is like a gift of cash from the manufacturer. Most all new car franchise now have some value, what we call blue sky. So people accept Open Points a lot more quickly than they would having to negotiate to buy at a very high price in South Florida. Mm-hmm. So we'd love to have another dealership, GMC, General Motors, or otherwise.
If I get to move back to Gainesville, I'll do that. Love Gainesville.
Yeah.
Go Gators.
Yeah. Good question.
So we're caught up with text.
Okay. And no more YouTubes?
We're actually good right now.
Fantastic. Let me mention just one additional thing, and I want to thank the Florida Florida Weekly for running my article about attention the governor and the attorney general. Here it is right here. Open letter to Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida House Speaker Jose Oliva, Florida State President Bill Galvano, Attorney General Ashley Moody. And thanks very much for running that article. The Hometown News, as was pointed out earlier by John from Palm City, they ran it in the op-ed section, and they also wrote a letter to each of these individuals in our state legislature and our governor and the attorney general, asking them to please comment on this article. Now, I haven't received any comments yet, and I don't think that the Hometown News has received any comments. I don't know if Florida Weekly has received any comments, but basically, this article was asking the legislators and the regulators why they don't enforce the state law that says you must include all fees, hidden fees, in the advertised price. And why don't you enforce this? Now, for the first time, I'm announcing that we are going to run this particular blog column as a full-page ad in the Tallahassee Democrat. And I didn't do it right away because I wanted till after the holidays when all the politicians were back in Tallahassee. So I think probably in the second week of January, I'll be running this blog article in the Tallahassee Democrat, full page, and I want to know why Governor Ron DeSantis, why Florida House Speaker Jose Oliva, why Florida Senate President Bill Galvano, or why Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody does not enforce the law that we have. You made the law, and you are the regulator to enforce the law. Why don't you enforce the law? Virtually no car dealer in the state of Florida follows the law to include hidden fees in their advertised price. I would say 1 out of, Stu, 100?
I don't think we've seen it once. I mean, Hollywood did it, but then they had a different...
They didn't do it.
Well, they had a dealer fee was included in the price, but then they had another dealer fee.
That's right. And when you went to the dealership, they didn't follow the rule, the advertised price.
It was close.
And part of the angle is the dealers might include, as Stu said, Craig Zinn's Hollywood Toyota, they'll include their dealer fee that they call a dealer fee, but they don't include the dealer fee that they call an electronic filing fee. So virtually no car dealer anywhere in Florida follows this law. So this is just a heads up to all you regulators and legislators out there. We're going after the bosses, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House, the Attorney General, and the Governor. You know, Governor DeSantis, I like what you're doing. I see
I
your
think it's DeSantis.
DeSantis. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You always leave the S
apologize.
off.
Oh, people misspell my name. I apologize, Governor DeSantis. Governor DeSantis, I like what you did. You got elected, and you actually are taking some action from both sides of the aisle. You're not being all Republican or all Democrat. You're doing what you think is right, and I think you're a good guy. Take some time. I know how busy you are, Governor DeSantis, to take a look at the Florida statute 501.976, paragraph 16. Florida statute 501.976, paragraph 16. Read the law. The law says basically car dealers have to include hidden fees, they call them dealer fees, in the advertised price of the car. Name of the game, it ain't happening. It isn't being done. It's being flagrantly violated by everybody. All you have to do is look at the advertisements in Tallahassee, where you spend a lot of time, and see if you can find an advertised price that includes the dealer fee in Tallahassee. So I'm talking to Governor DeSantis, I'm talking to Jose Oliva, I'm talking to Bill Galvano, and the Attorney General, Ashley Moody. Ashley, it is your job to enforce the law more than the legislators. You're the enforcer. There's the law, statute 501.976, paragraph 16. Enforce the law. Ashley, if you're not listening, I know somebody's listening that knows you and can speak to you, can communicate with you. Communicate with Ashley Moody, Florida Attorney General, and say, take a look at the advertisements online or on TV. See if you can find one car dealer that is obeying the law. Okay.
Great point. Congratulations on being recognized on that article.
I have a text that pointed out that I was spreading misinformation, and it says, hello, it's absolutely not true that you can go to any fire station and they will help install your car seat. I was a firefighter for over 30 years. So, of course, I Googled it, and that is correct. That is an urban myth, apparently. There is a website. It's the National Child Passenger Safety Certification. You can search in your community for a specialist who can help you, but it doesn't happen at the fire station. So, apologize for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I am corrected too.
Yeah, Rick,
We should have Snoped it. Hey, by the way, Snope.com, www.snope.com.
Snopes.
Snopes, Snopes, is a great debunking website, and shame on us. But congratulations on correcting a mistake. Thank you.
To what you said, Rick, I recall seeing it advertised on TV, not the fire station, but it was your local police that you could stop by. True? Or
I found it highly doubtful that when you make a blanket statement like that, maybe there's one police department that would do it or could or would want to, but I just don't think every police department in the United States would do that. Yeah. And they're probably the same thing. There might even be a fire department that did it one time. Yeah. But this is how urban legends grow.
Exactly. And we're all about the truth. So
exactly.
But actually, I found the NHTSA website, just NHTSA.gov. That will refer you. You can search. If you just Google how to install a car seat, you'll find a ton of resources out there.
Oh, great.
Now, speaking about it, I'm glad you said that, because when Tina was talking about NHTSA.gov, National Highway Traffic Safety Association.gov, I was going to say I thought the website was safercar.gov. It's probably both, right? Safercar.gov and NHTSA.gov.
Yeah, safercar.gov takes you directly to the recall site, and NHTSA.gov takes you to just their overall website.
And then from there you can get a link to go to the other.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, well, Palm Beach County, the pbcgov.org, which is a Palm Beach County website, our government website, says Palm Beach County Fire Rescue's certified child passenger safety technicians will check your child's car seat for proper installation, safety and recall status, as well as educate you on how to properly install the seat yourself. And on their website, they have where you can schedule an appointment, and they have, I'm seeing 6 different locations here, or 5 locations rather, where you can go to have to set up an appointment. The First Wednesday, second, third, fourth Wednesday.
So
of
it is
each
Palm
month.
Beach County, but we don't know about
Yeah.
any other county,
And we're global.
and we are
Right.
global. So
But you can Google this for your county,
Yeah.
for your location, and they have people that you can go to that will make sure your car seat's installed properly, and they're certified to
in
do
Palm
so.
Beach County,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
We have an interesting text here. I can't. There's nothing really to read. It says, "Give me a call if you like. I have a story for you, but I don't want to be on the air, so I'll forward you the phone number."
Oh, okay. I'll call you. And,
All right.
I'm also going to call that car dealer, car salesman.
Yeah.
By
By the way, that was a post on YouTube channel. So the only way to respond is for you to post on it. So Jonathan is sending you.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll send you the link.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Shall we get to the mystery shopping report? Do we have any other
I'm good to go.
text or calls? Okay, let's go to our mystery shopping report. And I think I can find it here. It's somewhere. I was shuffling my papers around a lot.
Would you like mine?
Yeah, let me have yours. I can't find it. Thank you very much. Okay. This is kind of, you're going to like this. I told earlier that Age of Thunder got busted, but it was so cool.
It was Dewey.
Oh, really?
Dewey busted him.
Is that right?
Yeah, good old Dewey ball.
Yeah, well, salesman. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, mystery shop of Carl's Buick GMC. Now, plan A for this week's mystery shop was Infinity of Stewart. We found a payment ad of theirs that promised a low payment with $0 down. When we sent Age of Thunder in to find out if zero really meant zero, his cover was blown. A former salesperson, who I just found out his name was Dewey.
Hey, Dewey.
Yeah, Dewey Tate? No, not Dewey.
Dewey Ball.
Dewey Ball, yeah.
Yeah.
I had another friend named Dewey Tate. Dewey Ball. Dewey Ball worked for us for a long, long time, spotted Agent Thunder, and informed management. Sales manager confronted Agent Thunder and asked him to leave. Mystery shopping is not risk-free. I mean, to be honest with you, I was just terrified that this was going to happen sooner because he's been all over, and he uses his name, real name, and he has never been busted up until now. So we really pushed the envelope. We might have to bring him in out of the cold for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Burn notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Agent Thunder, he's a true professional. He found another dubious ad from another Treasure Coast dealer on his phone in Infinity of Stewart's parking lot. So he's standing there, and he got the ad out, and it was like across the street, or very close anyway.
I think they're all on US 1. Right?
Yeah, all in US 1, yeah. This one was even better. Carl's Buick GMC was advertising a new 2019 Buick Encore for 25% off.
Ooh, boy.
And that's a huge percentage, and you actually see them higher than that. 25% off, eye-catching, and we had to see what it was all about. Earl Stewart on Cars has investigated Carl's Buick twice before, once in May of 2016 and again in July of 2018. Yeah, Carl's Buick has been around for a long time, hasn't it?
About 20 years.
Yeah, and it's locally owned. I guess the guy's name is really Carl.
Yeah, I think in our old mystery shopping report we have his last name, but it's Carl, and I think he opened it up in 1999.
Yeah. The first time we visited him was to check out an ad that, like today's mystery shop, promised a huge discount. Back then, they used obscure rebates that very few people qualified for to get top.
Get to the.
To get to the top, to get to the advertised price. And you were tired last night. I don't blame you. I was tired too.
Yeah.
In addition to that, of course, the dealer fee was added to the discounted price as well. So the second time we shopped them was a Takata test, and sadly they failed the Takata test, but almost everybody fails the Takata test.
In fairness.
We had a suspicion that the 25% off ad would also turn out to be a bait and switch. The fine print disclosure was extremely hard to read, but it did contain some clues that support our feelings. I took the fine print on my copy of it, and I'll hold up my copy of it, and I got out my magnifying glass, and I still couldn't read it. But I guess with a good copy, you can read that, but it's virtually impossible to read.
Well, I got new progressive lenses, and I can see tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have blah blah blah. for one of the things that raised our suspicion was that they give a single stock number, and it says STK hashtag 19451, and that's code. It's one car, and every car in a dealer's inventory has one of these stock numbers, and it legally, technically, gets them off the hook, saying that this specific car is available at this price for sale. It also protects them in case it is a good price. That means they only have to sell one car at that price. Typically it's a dubious reason. It's a devious reason, I should say, to put the stock number in there. If you're advertising a price, you should be willing to sell that MSRP make model car to anybody at that price. But when you say I'll only sell one, that's a red flag. It also specifies prices do not include additional fees and costs of closing, including government fees and taxes, any finance charges, any dealer documentation fees, or other fees.
I like the other fees.
Yeah,
It's
other fees, yeah.
Anything else we can think
Yeah, everything. I mean,
Pizza fee.
Exactly.
They should just say this price means absolutely nothing.
Exactly. You know what? That might be a legal disclosure. I mean, that might fly. This price doesn't mean anything.
This price is not valid in any way, shape, or form. And you put it in the fine print. I think that's a great disclosure.
Bullpucky.
Yeah. You know, we ran I know I'm digressing, but we have time. We ran an ad in Hometown News years ago, and we advertised a car for $1. Or do you remember that?
We did that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had a full page ad, but we.
Oh, yeah.
And the spoof, we had the fine print.
Yeah.
And we in the fine print we said, this is not true. And our dealer fee is
$20,000.
$20,000.
Let's do that again.
Let's do that again.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And maybe we'll do one in Florida Weekly.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to do it at a used car because Toyota won't let us advertise a car for $1.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, jeez.
But even with disclosure?
even with disclosure.
Oh, okay. All right. I digress so much. I forgot where. Oh, here we are. Okay, we had a pretty good idea of what Agent Thunder was getting into, but hey, sometimes we get a surprise. Okay, here's the report. I'm Agent Thunder, like I went in myself, speaking in the first person. I was greeted by an older salesman named Leonard once I entered Carl's Buick showroom. Leonard was a very friendly, welcoming guy. He shook my hand and asked how he could help me. I replied by showing him a copy of the ad for 25% off a new Buick Encore. Just like my experience the week before at Napleton's Palm Beach Acura, Leonard cautioned that the advertised car was just a base model. Second time in a row that verbiage has been used, and suggested we look at a better equipped trim level. I interrupted to assure him that I was okay with getting a base model. I told him I had a 2-year-old and another baby on the way. I anticipated this car getting pretty trashed, and I didn't want anything too fancy. Leonard accepted this and said he'd find the ad car for me. Before he did, he offered me a cup of coffee. I accepted, sipped it as I waited for him to come back for me. He was back in a few minutes and made a copy of my driver's license before we headed outside. The Encore was parked outside. The MSRP was $27,360, about $1,200 more than the MSRP of the ad car. Now, he told me he was going to go out and get the ad car, and he went out, but he didn't get the ad car. And at this point in time, he didn't say anything.
He just wanted him to have something really nice.
Yeah. I didn't say anything. I pretended like I didn't know it wasn't the ad car, but I did. I mean, $1,200 difference. There was also an addendum on the window that listed a protection package and prepaid maintenance for $1,223, kicking up the MSRP by $1,223. Leonard saw me reading it and told me not to worry about it. See, you know, they're sensitive about this.
They probably hate it.
Yeah, they hate it. They do. Salespeople don't like that kind of stuff. Leonard was a pro when it came to his vehicle presentation. He helped me adjust my seat, went over all the features thoroughly. Then we went on a test drive. Leonard shined on the test drive. He made jokes and easy conversation while interjecting information about the car when appropriate. I liked Leonard. Now, I'm going to say that again. I liked Leonard. This is so important to understand for everybody. A good salesperson, and I mean that, a salesperson that can sell a lot of cars and make a lot of money for himself and the dealer, I mean that kind of a good salesperson, not a morally good salesperson. A salesperson that can sell a lot of money, sell a lot of cars, make a lot of money, is likable. And I talk to so many people that know where they want to buy their next car because they buy their car from their friend George, who works at the Honda store. And George is just a prince of a guy. And he is such a nice guy. He's got a family. He belongs to my club, my church. His kids play on my baseball team, kids' baseball team. This is the way someone sells a lot of cars and makes a lot of money. And I'm a car dealer. We look at likability when we hire a salesperson. You can have the most honest person in the world, the hardest working person in the world, but if they aren't likable, they can't sell cars. So when you find a salesperson that you really like, a red flag ought to go up and a siren ought to go off, because that's the guy that can get you, or the gal that can get you. Leonard also talked at length about Carl's Buick's reputation for honesty and family values. I used this to ask him for his opinion about the ad. I asked Leonard, be straight with me. Is this ad legit? Leonard said it was absolutely legit. I mean, what do you expect? Well, I shouldn't say that, because we've actually had sales people that have spilled the beans. They say the ad's not legit, it just gets you in the door. But even that statement is to garner your trust. And now they build the trust between you and the salesperson. So salespeople are a good salesperson is not only likable, but he's smart. Okay, so Leonard assures me it's legit. He said they're using a $5,000 rebate to help them get the sale price. That's from the manufacturer, General Motors, which is 25% off MSRP. I asked if everyone qualified for the rebate, and he said that everyone did. Okay, that's a common trick. Are you a college graduate? Are you a member of the military? Whatever. Leonard went on to say that they did have the base model in stock. Now he tells me, okay, we got the base model in stock, but the one we were driving was a nicer trim. He thought I'd like it better. Well, he should have told me, right, up front. I told him that I did like the bells and whistles. I agreed. I asked if I could get the same discount on it. Leonard said yes. When they have the bells and whistles, there's more profit built in. So if they give you the same discount, they're making more profit. So it was a deceptive switch, and he did it in a remarkably friendly manner, and most people probably would have gone along with it. Back at the dealership, Leonard asked me if I was ready to write it up. I said I was. Leonard said he would print all the numbers up, and if I liked them, I would take it home. I sat down to wait. He returned it with a buyer's order. I noticed that Agent Thunder mistakenly thought this was a buyer's order. No. It's not a buyer's order.
Worksheet.
It's a worksheet. At first I thought, boy, this is unusual, because most all car dealers have gone from showing you the legitimate buyer's order. A vehicle buyer's order is a legal document, but they don't use legal documents anymore. As they get more and more corrupt, they've learned to use worksheets because they can do about anything they want to, and there's no law that apply to a worksheet.
Oftentimes there will be a disclosure on the worksheet that says this is for negotiation purposes only, or it's
this one in particular. This one in particular said this is not a legal document.
Yeah. Right.
So
this is not a contract. Yeah.
On the worksheet, he discounted the MSRP by $1,300, making the top line sale price $26,000 even. I always get nervous when you had even numbers. That wasn't smart. It should have been $26.01 and 19 cents. That's what I used to do when I was evil. When we'd advertise the price, we'd always...
There's got to be a reason you're being that particular.
Yeah, exactly. Then he added a $699 dealer fee, called it a dealer fee, right?
Yeah.
$114 electronic filing fee, which is also his dealer fee, but he called it something else, hidden fee. Then he added sales tax, but strangely, no title or registration fee. So that's $813 in hidden fees that was not included in the advertised price, which is breaking the law, which is what I said before earlier to Ashley Moody, the Florida Attorney General. Why is Carl's Buick, GMC, and Stewart advertising prices and violating the law of Florida? I don't know. Maybe Ashley Moody can explain it to me. Then he took off the $5,035 rebate, making my out-the-door price $23,443. I proceeded directly to the exit plan. How do I get out of here? I needed to take the numbers with me to review at home before coming back after 6 to take delivery. Leonard didn't object or attempt to get a manager to stop me. We shook hands and I left. This is an indication this is an old school dealership. Well, maybe not an old school. Leonard is an old school salespeople. You're supposed to have a manager get involved in the every sale. And this is a no-no for Leonard. He should have done it. Probably Carl and the manager would be unhappy if they'd known that he'd let this customer out, meaning me, without a TO. We call it a turnover to management. And there you have it. The ad showed $65.90 in savings off MSRP before adding back hidden fees. Agent Thunder's discount was about $300 less, or on a considerably more expensive car on which they would have made more money. In both cases, the discounts were bogus because there was $813 in hidden fees added, and to the discounted price, the ad car discount was actually $5,777, not $65.90. Agent Thunder's discount was $55.22, not $63.35. So messy, not according to the ad, but not particularly out of character.
Close. We've seen worse, but
Yeah.
it was still bait and switch. We have some grades coming in.
Okay, let's hear the grades.
Leonard gives him an A+. I'm just kidding. That was a joke, Leonard. All right, Jeff.
That was good.
Jeff gives him a D. Nina gives him a D. Craig gives him a C. Gino an F, and Danielle an F. I'm hesitant to fail them because we do grade on a curve. This doesn't seem like a more extreme sort of bait and switch, but it still is. So I'm going to give him a D.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I tend to get emotionally involved every time I do a mystery shopping report, and then I can't let my emotions carry me away. We just can't fail everybody. We have no place left to shop. Rick?
I'm just curious about one thing. I'm looking at the picture of the addendum sticker,
Yeah.
and it says on the maintenance plan that for the first 3 years of ownership, they're giving them 6 oil changes and 3 tire rotations. That seems backwards to me because the oil,
Usually it's-
according to Google, the 2019 Buick Encore is supposed to be using 0W20 synthetic oil, and one oil change with that oil is probably going to be retail price about $80 or $90.
You know what? I bet that addendum sticker is 20 years old, and I bet nobody's ever read the fine print on it.
Well, I guarantee that it's a typo, but don't worry, Carl's Buick, because you're not responsible for typographical errors.
Exactly, right?
Seriously, it says they can't vouch for the accuracy, description, or condition of this vehicle or its listed equipment.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I couldn't read it, and I'm glad you did read that. Most people, these addendum stickers, you saw what happened with Leonard. I, as Agent Thunder, was looking at the addendum sticker, and he says, "Don't worry about that." Right away, you knew that it was bogus, added, puffing up the price of phony Monroney, adding, So it's funny, old school addendum stickers. It's really hysterical that they put that typo in there for 20 years and nobody ever noticed it. Nobody reads the fine print, not even the dealer.
Well, from YouTube, Frank says a D, and Ernesto is giving him a D. Mark Smith from Iowa, a D, and Mark Ryan, also from Iowa, a D.
Yeah. There it is. I hate to give I almost want to give them a C. I mean, because the more I think about it, this is almost like a standard kind kind of shopping aboard Florida.
Now, there were some other little things and details that we didn't cover. So if you look at the ad, it shows a rebate on there, and it says, I just lost my spot, but the rebate, I think, said $5,500 or something like that. Leonard said, here, let me pull it up here. The ad said, okay, a Buick and GMC standalone consumer cash program. They take $5,500 off. Well, the rebate was actually just a little over $500. So I don't know if Agent Thunder was given the actual rebate or there was some other explanation. But he reduced the amount of the rebate and also didn't discount the car as much as the. Well, actually, no, he did discount the car, but the rebate he kind of shortchanged them on.
Yeah, he was tap dancing and bobbing and weaving and trying to get the deal, and he was a good salesman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's likable, sums it all up, as I said before, and the average person would never have been as skeptical as Agent Thunder. And if you have a salesperson with a great smile and tell you a few jokes, get you a cup of coffee, and ask you about your wife and kids and the dog,
He makes a friend.
you make a friend, and you want a friend. It's not like the old school. You don't have the white shoes and the checkered pants and the old. You Google deceptive car dealers and go to images, and they have some hysterical with a cigar.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I just texted you the picture, and it's up to you if you want to show it. There is a picture of Leonard. It's actually a picture of a desk cutout of Leonard that he had on his desk, and it's pretty clever. At first, I thought that might be Carl because it looks like maybe the picture of the dealer, but you can zoom in.
Oh, is that actually Leonard? Yeah.
You can zoom in on the name tag, and you can see that it
Yeah.
is Leonard, and that's Leonard right
Well,
there.
Leonard's a nice-looking guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very small. He's on the desk.
Yeah. Hi, Leonard.
But
So if you go into Carl's Buick, ask for Leonard. He's one heck of a nice guy.
yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I
Never
like him
met
too.
him.
Great
I-
personality.
I tell you one thing. I'm going to give him a C.
Me too.
I mean, because I'm doing it because of Leonard.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good person. What we find is a culture of car dealers, and there's two things involved with why car dealers behave the way they do. One, they've always done it that way, and it's been going on that way for 100 years. Do you believe that? 100 years. And people that grow up in it, like I did, when I was selling cars and when I was in the management, and I started business with my father many, many years ago, over 50 years ago, I saw nothing wrong with what I was doing. I just thought it's the way it was. And so if you think back 50 years on a lot of things we did, they're embarrassing today. The way we treated women, the way we treated Afro-Americans, the way we treated Indians. I'm talking about Native Indians. A lot of things that we did, we just thought we took it for granted. And car dealers are frozen in the past. And so there's a very interesting case study. This will be studied one day after automobile retail dealers no longer exist, which in probably 25 years that's going to be the case. There won't be car dealers as we know them today.
They'll say it's like looking back at bloodletting and
Yeah.
other ancient practices.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely, yeah. So Leonard he's frozen in the past. He's probably a family guy. He's probably a member of his local church or synagogue. He's probably he coaches the softball team, and he's a member of the Kiwanis Club.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
he's a good guy. So if you are in the market for a GMC or a Buick, go see
Yeah.
Leonard.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get 3 competitive prices,
Yeah.
and do your homework, and let Leonard make a living.
Exactly.
Okay. We still have some time yet.
I think we have time for my vote.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We
Sister
ignored you.
Nancy.
My apologies.
Okay.
I'm in
I'm not
I'm in serious trouble on the way home.
No, this can go down right here.
Why wait?
Oh, boy.
Let's do it.
Get the popcorn, folks. Here we go.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Okay. I'm not interested in what Leonard looks like. His personality, sure, that's important. Whether,
Watch out, Leonard. Here it comes.
Carl's Buick gets a D minus from me. A lot of tap dancing, it's just, why does it have to be this way? It's a minefield out there. Do your homework.
There you go. Well, you passed him, though.
I was very easy on Leonard.
I thought something was about to go down.
That's the way I play the game.
Yeah.
And then I jump on you.
You know, the salespeople that I like that we encounter on the Mystery Shopping Reports are the ones who will actually be frank about the dealership deceptive practices.
Yeah.
And if you can find a salesperson that you really know, and he will be honest with you about the misleading advertising, and you say, listen, I understand, I want to buy the car, I want to buy it at a fair price, I don't want to steal it from you, I want you to make a reasonable commission. And if you have a person that you can trust to meet those guidelines, that's kind of fun, because you don't have to go through all the BS. You don't have to do the haggle hassle, meet the manager, and all that. But some of you out there have a salesperson that you've double checked, and he understands the rules of the game, and he gives you a fair price. I mean, I'm not one of these people. I think a lot of people aren't. You don't have to get the lowest price that the dealer ever sold the car for. You just want a price that was fair, that you didn't get taken advantage of. You don't want to pay a $5,000 profit to a dealer when the guy that came in yesterday bought the same car and he made $1,000 on it. Maybe $1,000 is a fair profit for the dealer, but you don't want to pay him $5,000 if $1,000 is an okay profit.
I agree.
Okay, we're running out of time.
Would you like to sing us a song?
Well, I have an idea
sky.
to our panel here. This is our last show for 2019. Anybody have a New Year's resolution?
Well, it's funny. I have a New Year's resolution that I did in my blog column.
There you go.
And
how do you like that for an opening?
The 2020, can I find it here? If you can pull that up on earlandcars.com, it's, here it is right here, 2020 New Year's resolutions for car dealers. Pull that up, 10 resolutions for car dealers. And if you go through that, it headlines everything that you really have to be careful of. First one is display your lowest price on every new and used vehicle. And that ain't going to happen.com, but I got to tell them anyway. Add no hidden bogus fees. Never pre-install dealer accessories, especially if they're not included in the advertised price. Don't deprive your customers of the American inalienable right to shop and compare your lowest price with the competition. Only business that deprives you of that right. TV sets, refrigerators, toothbrushes, anything you want. You go to Amazon, Target, Walmart, you can shop and compare prices. You can't do it with car dealers. Number 5, do not switch a customer that wants to buy a car to leasing because you're going to make a lot more money. Someone comes in to buy a car, sell them a car. Don't switch them to lease because you average over $1,000 more when you lease a car. And if your customer wants to finance his car with you, offer them a fair competitive rate. Offer to sell them products like extended warranties only if it's a value to them as something they truly can use at a fair price. Never, number 7, never sell a used vehicle with an unfixed dangerous recall. We find all car dealers doing that. Maybe 1 out of 100 will say, I can't sell you this car till we refix it. 1 out of 100. Never display conditions that increase the real price of the advertised vehicle in unreadable fine print. Every dealer does that.
We saw that today.
Saw it today, you see it every day. And we got 2 minutes. Don't falsely give hope to prospective customers with bad credit by understating the conditions that they must meet to obtain financing. For example, any credit application accepted, or we finance good people with bad credit.
Or we want to get everybody approved.
Yeah. Of all the things that you do, you car dealers out there, the ones that prey on people with bad credit are the most disgusting people. I mean, when you take advantage of somebody down on their luck, when there's nothing more embarrassing or humiliating to a person to have bad credit. It may or may not be their fault, but either way, to prey on these people by promising things they can't deliver is terrible. Bye-bye,
Ladies
everybody.
and gentlemen, Happy New Year.
Happy
Thank
New
you for joining us this morning. We'll see you right back here next Saturday, 2020.